Sporks. It's both a spoon and a fork.
Suck a Sasquatch.
Thank you for joining us at RaptorKick. I am DJ Diddles.
I'm Jay.
Rev here.
Mac.
Blieu is unable to join us today. She is currently on a vision quest.
I heard she's dropping some peyote in the desert.
I heard it was a mild form of peyote.
Actually, it's actually just a CVS cough and cold. She's just taking a whole bunch of it. It's like robo-tussing.
Oh,
She's just robo-tripping at a nearby stream.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
February, guys, and you know what that means. It's the month of love with Valentine's Day. And you know what everyone's favorite love is? It's porn. So let's talk about some pornography. What do you guys think about it? Mac?
I think it's a very healthy obsession that it doesn't hurt anybody, and everybody should watch it.
It's a victimless crime.
It is. It's a victimless crime.
It's not a crime.
It doesn't hurt anybody except your penis.
It's very legal.
It's fun for the whole family.
It is.
Depending on your definition of family, I agree.
Well, I guess I'll...
Son, get in here.
It's time to grow up.
Just take your cock in your hand.
I take a couple of pumps of lotion, but it's totally up to
There's different ways to do it. Preferences, you know.
Well,
you. I do it.
I meant, like, you know...
How do you learn?
Well, besides what the fuck you're talking about, I think it's an increasing thing between couples. I think a lot more relationships and couples are actually starting to watch more porn, especially together, just getting ideas and generally spicing things up in the bedroom. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I mean...
Like a 12-on-1 girl?
No.
And the boyfriend's watching?
I think people have always watched porn and always watched together. It's just, right now, it's just people actually talk about it. Like,
It's so much easier too. It's like there's so many sites where you can go for free.
Yeah.
Oh, I got so many sites.
Yeah. Got them on favorites.
Hell yeah.
But as far as watching it in a relationship, I have a fun story about that one.
Oh, do tell.
Watching it with a loved one, I thought it would make sex more interesting. I thought it would be like, oh, I want to try that position.
Huh.
No, the only thing she noticed was like, man, they have really good nails. So the next day she got a manicure. That was it.
Nice. Cool story, bro.
she at least scratch your back with that manicure? Or no?
No.
But you know what?
Bummer.
And I think that's one thing that, you know, couples, especially women in relationships, look at. Like, you know, I think they're almost as more oriented into wanting to spice things up in the relationship than most of the time we are. Because let's look at the movie fucking 50 Shades of Grey coming out. And all the fucking women that want to go out and watch that movie, and they're all like, oh, I want Mr. Grey to fucking, like, you know, tie me up and, you know, oh my God, beat the shit out of me and shit. And it's like, okay, I could do that for you. No, you just don't know what you're doing. But it's, you know...
Yeah.
Everyone kind of has that fantasy, you know. Everyone has that, like, porn star. Like, I want a girlfriend, but I also want a porn star in bed, too.
Yeah, it's a hard line to cross.
You want a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed?
Sheets?
No, it's Fred in the... No, the original, it's a ludicrous line.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Luda. Don't come in this podcast thinking that you're the only one listening to some Luda. I found a Walkman on a bus one time, and it had a Luda mixtape, and that's how I was introduced to rap.
So
That's surprisingly hood for you.
Yeah.
You took a bus?
Yeah, white people don't take the bus. What are you
Oh
doing?
my God. Well, what about you? What about you, Jay? What's your thoughts on the porn?
Yeah, what kind of porn are you into?
What kind of porn am I into?
Yeah,
Like the girl and guy and goat?
You know what I'm surprisingly not into?
Midgets.
Asians?
Is girl on girl.
Really?
Yeah, me
It
too.
doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
'Cause I like to envision myself in the porn. And
Photoshop your face on the guy's.
right on the end of the dick. Like right on the head of the dick is my face. I'm like,
We're going in.
every one of the cum johns.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Oh
No,
my.
but
So you
seriously,
like this?
when it's girl on girl, I can't get into. I'm like, yeah, they seem like they're having a great time that I wouldn't be able to have any fun with.
Yeah, when I watch Girl on Girl, I'm like, I try to place myself in the scene, and I'm always in the corner with a limp dick. Like, oh, I guess they don't need me.
You're that creepy guy in the corner
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
just
dark.
watching.
You're
Like,
jerking off, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already doing that.
I
don't need to imagine. My fantasy should be that.
I'm in the corner. I'm calling out like, I'm here if you need me. They don't.
They never do.
But what would that said then? I mean, what would is that pretty much? Would you say that's the same for like the three-way scenario porn that they have, where it's the two girls and then the one lucky guy?
Oh yeah, that's totally fine. I love that. With the multiple girls and a guy, that's fine.
Because then you get to vision your
Yeah,
face
then-
on the
then
guy's
you're,
dick.
You're that guy. Yeah.
Your dick is my dick.
Oh shit!
I just like the penetration.
He just likes yeah.
Hey, everybody's
Plain and
got
simple.
Does anybody like point of view? Does anybody
No.
digging that?
No.
POV?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
No, me
See,
neither.
I can get down with that because it puts me in their
Yes,
shoes.
we know.
That's-
That's my dick.
I like to
zone.
see the female figure in all its entirety.
It's like
I to
found
see
footage film.
Yeah, I like to see it.
Found footage porn.
I don't want to see like, oh, I don't want to trick myself in it. Yeah, I fucked this girl.
Cloverfield
didn't.
XXX.
Yeah.
Look at Cloverfield. The camera's shaking. There's monsters everywhere.
But he's getting his nuts sucked.
Boner field? Did they call it that?
I guess that would be the porn equivalent of.
They would have
Cloverfield.
to. I'm pretty sure they would
Boner
have.
field? Yeah.
Google it. It's gotta be. It has to exist. If not, we're making it.
No.
Does anyone else here like when they have the fake pornos based off movies?
I'm not gonna lie.
The parodies are pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
like,
some of them
like
are
Apollo 69, Edward Penis Hands.
Oh god.
I like the Flintstones one.
I watched
I like
Scooby
the
Doo
Lord
one.
of the
Scooby Doo, man. Fucking.
Scooby Doo one was funny.
Oh my god.
I've
Fucking.
never seen the Scooby Doo
You've
one.
never seen the Scooby Doo
No.
one. Jesus.
Who's hotter? Is it Velma? Please tell me it's Velma.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
It's
always liked
Bobby
Velma, so I
Starr.
was always hoping Velma
Bobby
would be the
Starr
hotter
plays
one.
Velma and Brie Olson plays Daphne.
I like Daphne.
Daphne was the blonde, right? Or
Yeah,
the
Daphne was blonde.
yeah.
Well,
And
Velma,
then the
she's
geeky
so
one was
smart.
Velma. Yeah.
She's so smart, you know.
She's got
a dirty
it
whore.
both ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
she has to be.
Everyone knew like, oh, they're gonna totally get together.
She's got
That or
easy
she was a
access.
lesbian.
That-
There was she's
It was
either
a-
like the freak or
I-
a lesbian.
but
It
you know
was,
what,
it was
though?
going one of two ways.
I think they definitely debunked that in the one Scooby Doo movie with Seth Green, where she's like, okay, she's in the guys, it's cool.
Yeah.
Because you always
wait, which Scooby Doo movie?
the actual legit
First
movie,
movie.
not
This
the
is-
porn
this is
movie.
a non-porn movie? I'm out.
But as a nerd, there are problems with like the superhero porn movies
Oh,
when I
God.
watch them.
What, like Spider Babe?
There's
Whoa,
one,
hey.
There's one where.
Everyone
That's a
loves Spider
classic.
Babe.
Oh, I haven't seen
Monday.
Spider Babe.
You've never seen oh,
I've seen one where like
shoots webs out of her twat. It's great.
I saw one where Catwoman goes and gets fucked by Harley Quinn and the Joker, and I was like,
I seen that one.
I was like, continuity wise, I don't know if I agree with this. I don't see why.
I think there could be a
critiquing
scenario where that
it.
could work.
He's critiquing it. Oh my, yeah, because she was supposedly breaking him out or something like that.
Yeah.
Just break
Oh,
it out of
I'm
Arkham.
glad that we all have seen it. We can all. We can all.
There's
Compared-
nothing that when we plan these episodes, we can never agree on one thing that we all have seen. But apparently, you talk about pornography, we've seen everything.
We can all compare notes on
This,
the.
this is the whole hour is going to
Oh
be
my
this because we
God.
have no other topic.
Oh
We
my
can
god.
all
haven't
compare
seen
notes on the Joker Catwoman fuck scene in
my
the
God.
jail cell.
Oh,
It's not a
Jesus
jail.
Christ. Oh,
It's an
Jesus.
asylum.
There's a
If they couldn't
difference.
afford the asylum set, it's clearly a jail.
But you think about it though, main media, mainstream media, like movies and stuff like that. You know, the porn industry is capitalizing on it because they know people like us. Oh yeah, we love the Avengers, we love Batman. They'll make it. We'll fucking go out and watch it. Is that sad when you have a porno that has better costumes than an actual like legit production company when it comes to just storytelling? And it's like you did a porno, but
They're
you look at the
storytelling. They're just telling the story with their dicks
Exactly.
and breasts. That's how you tell that story.
It's
It's
so-
like Pirates.
It's gripping and moving.
Has anyone seen Pirates? The Pirates of the Caribbean porno.
Yes.
That's the large.
It's
At least to my understanding, it's still the largest budget porno to ever exist.
You're right though. The supposed Pirates of the Caribbean parody. That made a shit ton of money, surprisingly for.
No, and it cost a ton of money. That was the thing.
yeah.
Is they spent a lot on like CGI. There was
CGI.
because there's two versions. There's actually like a softcore, R-rated or NC-17 somewhere around there.
And then there's like
version,
the
and then there's the hardcore version which shows the penetration.
yeah.
So they were able to market it still in like you know, back
The
when there was,
porn.
I was gonna say Blockbuster. Then I realized like everyone listening's gonna be like, "What's a Blockbuster?"
Don't we all miss Blockbuster a little bit?
No, a little.
I love going to Blockbuster.
I like to go
and
every
going-
week.
Yeah, I like going to the video game section and then never have like the latest games,
Yeah.
but having like the obscure games you never heard of. You're like, what?
They had like 20 copies of like a game no one wants, but like one copy of like Halo 3. And I was like, where's it at? I was
Oh, it
always
hasn't
angry.
come back yet.
Yeah, someone has it.
But would you? How about this then? Would you say Redbox is better or worse than the availability on movies and video games than a Blockbuster was?
Do Red Boxes have video games?
Yes,
No,
they do.
I've
They just got in Xbox One games.
Oh, that's cool.
I never been to a red box.
I use it once, but you only have 24 hours, right?
Yeah, and then you
You
get
have
billed
to
again.
return it.
Yeah.
You have
That's
to return
stupid.
it.
But if you have it after I think like 25 days or something like that, then it's practically yours because you just
I
paid
did
for it.
Gamefly. Gamefly is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then of course you still have like Netflix where you can just if anyone even still does that, where you go online, order the game or the movie, and they send it to you in the little pouch, and when you're ready to return it, drop it in, mail it back, and they send you another one.
I used to have the Blockbuster version of that.
Oh, God.
Where you would, it was like Netflix, but it was Blockbuster where
Right.
they would send you. I was like, this is the best. I don't even have to go to the brick and mortar store. I just get it, send it back, and then Blockbuster folded. And I was like, I could get Netflix, but I'm not.
Yeah, I held out for the longest time on that, but I got it.
I got Prime, Amazon Prime, because I was like, I'll save on the shipping. This podcast is brought to you by Netflix and Amazon Prime.
And Blockbuster. Blockbuster
They're-
lives.
They're coming back.
Oh my God!
Watch
We're
it.
bringing it back.
2016.
They killed the guy. Blockbuster literally killed the guy.
Oh God!
When they were
How'd
tearing
they
it
kill the
down,
guy?
Was
when
it
they were tearing
Blockbuster
it
or
down,
Wawa?
it fell on some guy.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right.
That was the one over on 38, right?
Yeah, the one right up the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
For those
Yeah,
of
that
our,
place is haunted.
For those of our podcast listeners in Europe,
Wawa is awesome.
Blockbuster. Where's this Blockbuster? Well, 38 is not going to make any sense to you. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Go back to rewind to the porn section.
They should make a sex flicks where it's like Netflix, but which is porn.
They do. It's called Pornhub.
Oh, really? How? Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know my porn
You
channels
don't
like
know
that.
subscription fees?
Yeah, well, I guess, is there...
But I want to
Oh,
watch
no,
it on
he
my
wants- He wants
Xbox.
brick and mortar porno.
Oh.
I want
He
to
wants
watch
to-
it on my Xbox One, though. I don't want to leave the safety of my house.
Yeah, I guess.
But you want discs, too, man.
Do you want this?
Every once in a while,
Is it
sure.
better to have it on a stream on a website or actually have the hard copy?
But then someone comes to your house and you see a
here's
huge
the
porn
thing.
collection.
I've actually heard about this. If you Doomsday Planners, one of these dudes,
What?
they thought about it. They're like, we need actual porno as in magazines, because what happens when Doomsday hits, we don't have internet, we don't have our computers, we don't have anything. You still need to beat your meat. You know?
That's true.
What if you become the porn kingpin of the apocalypse? What if
No.
it's Mad Max? Everybody's looking for water, but I don't need water. I've got hustlers, bitch.
I accidentally bought a porn disc one time.
How
You
do you
Accidentally.
accidentally?
Accidentally.
How do you accidentally?
You woke her up.
She's coming out for her peyote trip.
Oh, you're lying. She's on a vision quest. Not here.
I didn't say who it was.
How do you?
Astral
How does
Blade.
somebody accidentally buy a?
I didn't know what I was buying until I got it home. I was like, oh, there's blowjobs.
The cover art
She's
didn't
like,
have
he's
it.
like, Backdoor Sluts 9.
No, it
That
wasn't
doesn't
even.
sound like a porno
It
to
wasn't
me.
even that
I thought
good.
it was Back to the Future.
It wasn't even that good.
Back Door to the Future.
Exactly.
But watching that compared to just able to stream porn, I'd definitely go with streaming because the disc, those chicks were kind of.
It just comes faster, you know.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Oh.
I have to write that down for next time.
About the porn talk. Let's talk about something else here. On the list, well, since last week we talked about, or last time we talked about.
That was also last week.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to say
You could
that.
do both.
That's it. We talked about horror movies and remakes and everything. We'll just kick it up a notch here and go in the realm of sci-fi. I think that's a very broad topic in terms of, I think sci-fi is making a big turn this year and next year coming out with movies like they're doing yet another fucking Terminator movie.
Are they retconning? Or are
No.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
I don't know though. It's called Terminator Genesis, and it's supposedly.
Okay, that means So if you use Genesis in the name, you're like.
But that's the thing, though.
It's a prologue.
From what you gather from the trailer, though, Arnold Schwarzenegger goes back into time to the 80s when the first movie took place, where he first appears in the 80s, and he kills himself.
Okay, so what's gonna happen is they're doing it like Star Trek. They're saying, hey, with the new Star Trek movies, they were like, hey,
with J.J. Abrams.
The J.J. Abrams Star Wars. They were like, okay, everything that you guys watched all those years with Star Trek still happened.
Yeah.
But now that this Romulan went back into space, it changed.
Okay, an altered universe then.
So that's what they're going to do with Transformers. It's going to be an alternate universe. Hey,
Transformers? You mean Terminator?
Sorry, the beer's getting to me.
The beer. Well, I guess that makes sense, but I mean,
it's going to be a retcon, but they're going to do it in a way that's like, hey, all those other movies didn't. They still happened, but they happened in an alternate universe. Because time is cyclical. Don't worry.
Because he's gonna what's the hell's his name?
J.J. Abrams.
Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese is gonna go to the 80s and he's gonna be like, I'm here to save you, and she's gonna be like, oh, I've had a Terminator, I've had a T-800 since I was a kid.
Bum,
like that.
bum, bum.
But it's been something. It was something like that though, because he does go back in time. Yeah. That's the thing though. I don't know if it takes place after the whole Christian Bale movie, or if it's like we're just going to start right here.
It's after and before because it starts out in the future. Yeah, and it starts out in the future with him sending Kyle Reese back.
He's like, all right, Dad, you're going back into the future to
so it's
who happens to be your wife.
It's post salvation. On a side note, for all the 13-year-olds listening, skip the porn section right to the Terminator section, please. Please.
No, it's age restricted. There ain't no one watching under 18.
Yeah, because at 13, I was like, I better not click. I'm over 18. I was like, man,
Don't tell
the
me how to live my
FBI will
life.
come.
But no,
You're like, please
I
do
mean,
not tell 13-year-olds to listen to this.
I
like,
made
do it,
I made sure I
13-year-olds,
covered our
listen
asses
to it.
on this. And
Yeah,
put
we're
down,
okay.
Not safe for work and all that.
Just saying, this is a different topic.
Different topic.
But yeah, time travel.
Time travel. I don't know. I mean, oops, you just got some cheese on your headphones there, buddy.
Oh,
There goes that $25.
Right down the drain. Right down the shaft.
Speaking of time travel, though.
If only you could go back and change that.
Speaking of time travel, though, I mean, there's so many different time traveling movies out there. I mean, you have Back to the Future, you have the Time Machine movie from like the early.
Oh, that's H.
early.
Wells.
No, I'm talking about like the early '80s, late '70s time Machine movie.
I'm talking about the book. H.
Yeah.
Wells wrote.
Yeah, they're both based off of Time
You have-
Machine by H.G. Wells.
You
Yeah.
have Harry Potter.
Time Turner.
Yeah, doesn't he have that thing that he can
The
spin?
Time Turner. Hermione uses it to go to class.
Why don't they use that all the time to solve all their problems?
Here's a
Because
question.
I've never
it doesn't
read
make
that, but
sense.
I'm sure that like using that could solve every problem, right? If
It
you have a
doesn't make
machine
sense,
that-
though, how they use it. Because they're living in
Doesn't,
the
like,
present.
You spin it every time and it goes back a day.
Well, they have to do an action before they can go back in time.
So they have to go forward in time to go backward in time?
Probably.
No, it's
Because, like, who's going to hit... You know how they threw the stone at Harry and it hit his head?
No, I've never read
never
or
seen it?
watched.
In the
any-
movie,
I know what you're talking about.
In the movie, they throw the stone at Harry's head, but like, what event triggered them to go back into time to do that?
My head hurts.
Okay. Once
you know what I mean?
Once you solve why, once you say, "Hey, we're going to go back in time,"
Like,
then all those things that led up to you going back.
Do you know
into time
what?
Don't exist.
Yeah.
That's called cyclical time. When
Yeah.
time runs in cycles instead of running linearly, you can do that. So,
Actually,
so many Harry Potters died then. So
Well,
what happens is just the one that goes back into time actually survives to beat him. But
Okay.
all the ones that didn't go back are dead.
because they're trying to prevent the big bird of not dying.
Which is a bird?
Yeah,
Which
Buckbeak.
book? Which book are we talking about?
Buckbeak, the big bird.
That's their-
prisoner of Azkaban.
That's
Yeah.
Azkaban.
Yes, they
I
don't
read that
want
one.
they don't want it to die, but like, how are they preventing its death?
But why couldn't they just go back in
Can I
time? and
give
stop?
you? Can I give you a simple solution to all this?
Sure.
Bill and Ted. That's it. Plain and simple. The first movie explained it all. They had a time machine at their disposal, and every time something came up and they were like, "Oh, we need to fix this," or whatever, the guy would say out loud, "Goes, don't forget to do something," and then 2 seconds later, it's there. Like, he's like, "Damn it! If only I had the keys to the jail cell to get everyone out." He's like, "Grab my dad's keys." Like, remember, and then when the chance comes up to where the keys were available to him, grabs them, goes back in the time, puts them somewhere safe that he will remember where to grab them, and then take it from there.
Yeah, it was actually one of the few films that's actually able to handle linear time right.
Exactly. I think another good one
That one does linear and mostly, but that's the problem with Terminator. Is Terminator bounces back and forth between linear and cyclical.
Yeah.
What about Paradox?
Fuck paradoxes.
Paradox.
saying.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Doctor Who. Doctor Who is
No one
big.
watches that shit.
I do, and you know what? It's a big one. But
This is Rev signing off.
it's just on the topic of
Smell you
paradoxes.
later. This is Mac.
Well, fine. I'll use
No,
a better
we're
one.
listening,
I'll
we're
use
listening.
I'll use a better one because you guys
All
don't
right.
like Doctor Who. Fine. Fucking Back to the Future.
Yes.
Back to the Future sucked too.
Hey.
Whoa.
Whoa, I'm just saying it to get a
The
rise.
The second movie, she couldn't see her future self. There would have
Are
been
you
that.
trolling this podcast?
A little.
Dude.
I sprinkle a little troll in.
Good for you.
Thank
He
you.
was so adamant about the porn section.
Yeah, I got nothing now, so I might as well.
All right, I'll ask you a question. What would you do if you could travel through time? Because I know what I would do. Do you want to know what I would
You
do?
would be Hitler.
No.
No. You asked that question just so you could tell everybody what you wanted to do.
So you asked the question to yourself.
He was like, what would you do if you went back in time? I know what I would do, and I'm going to tell you first.
No.
Your answer doesn't matter because I have to tell you what I would do.
Let's hear
You
it.
still want to say?
Let's hear it, Rev. Hold on. I want to hear this. Okay,
All right,
smart.
first I would go to the future. I would go to the point where we have warp travel, where we can travel through space in minutes. All right?
What if that doesn't occur?
I don't care. I would go to the point where it does. To get off my dick. So I would go to that point. I would get a warp ship. Then I would go back to the 90s and grab a bag of 3 Doritos. Then I would go back to the present day and put the bag of 3 Doritos right where curiosity's path on Mars. So they would find it and be like, holy fuck, there's 3 Doritos on Mars. And I would just sit on my warp ship. That's what I would do.
I was expecting such a better story.
I think we all were. We were like, man.
I was really
You know,
hyped about
This
it.
was going to go somewhere.
No, nothing Star Wars related. Nothing Star Trek related.
And then I was going to get some Surge because I love the 90s a lot.
I was
Some
gonna.
Rob Liefeld comics.
Pogs and play Jesus.
What about
I was
you?
gonna invent
what about,
Dr. Pibb.
Nuke the pyramids.
Oh my god. What about
Are
you, Jay?
nukes a 90s thing? Because we haven't used those since the 40s.
Kind of.
Time travel. I have every era open to me.
What about you, Jay? What would you do time travel wise if you had the opportunity?
Go see Jesus. I want to know if it's all hype. You got to find out. I have to know. I have to know the big answer. Is he there?
Well, you can talk to him.
Is he a dick?
You can talk
Is he
to him
not?
after our pod game.
No, I'm not gonna him.
Don't interrupt.
That's the only thing though. If he's there,
Sweet ass slammer.
Oh, I bet he has the best slammer.
He's got like a fucking awesome.
he's the son of God. You better bet he's got the fucking slammer.
He doesn't even have a slammer. He just goes like that in thin air, and everything just fucking explodes.
a Eucharist slammer.
He's like, you ask him, you're like, do you have a slammer that slams so hard that you yourself can't defend it?
And he'd be like,
That's an
his beard.
omnipotence paradox. That's an. If we're gonna get back to paradoxes, I'll throw a paradox out there.
That ruined a friendship for me. That question.
What? Is
Someone's
can,
playing footsie.
Can Jesus
Someone was-
microwave a burrito so
That
hot
exact
that he himself
question.
can't eat it?
She was very religious, and I asked her about the burrito question.
You stole a line from Simpsons and ruined a
She-
friendship from it.
It was a friendship worth
Not the better
ruining
time.
if she couldn't handle that burrito question. Mac, what would you do with time travel?
ho ho ho. I'd probably invent everything that like Apple products and just put Mac Jobs on it. And well, I'm already there, Max. I'm already
It's
there.
still Mac, yeah.
Yeah, so never mind.
So nothing changes.
Yeah. So,
Are you just a bleached Steve Jobs in the future?
sure. I will kidnap him, extract everything from his brain, and then use it, and then I'll be super
And
rich.
the bleaching process will drive you insane, and that's why you'll die of cancer because you won't want to treat it.
Probably.
And refuse
Probably.
to acknowledge your daughter.
But I'll be rich. But I'll be rich.
The future is now, people. Just to let you know.
I would go
Find
to
a
the
bag of 3 Doritos tomorrow on Mars.
I would go to the
Apparently
future,
we have gone
get a
to the
cure
future.
for my cancer, and then go to the past, become Steve Jobs, and then cure myself of that cancer
Diddles, you
and
look
live
so
forever.
sad over there. You're like, I hate all of it.
I will go back in time and stop this podcast.
Now, what would you do, Diddles? We have to hear it.
In all seriousness, I think I have something a little bit more
He will
realistic.
Diddles Marilyn Monroe.
No, maybe
would.
I no.
All right.
I would probably have to go hit the lottery, get a shit ton of money, but the lottery in like I'd say the 60s, 70s, and then use all that fucking money that I got and see all the greatest concerts from the 60s into the late 80s.
And then invest all that money into
Really
Macintosh.
good shit, yes.
Into Macintosh.
Because if there's one thing I always fucking hate.
He's Arlen Specter. We have Arlen Specter and Steve Jobs right here. We don't end up. They kill us. Me and Rev invent this time machine.
I just wanted to dick with NASA. I just wanted to dick with NASA.
I just wanted to see Jesus. Maybe I'm a J from the Bible.
Oh my god. Oh
I
my
see it.
God.
Okay.
But no, let's think. Let's think about this. But who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to do that though? Like watch like the Who, the Beatles,
Yeah, I agree.
the Stones.
I wouldn't
the
because they're all
Doors.
boring.
Fine. Who would you see if you can go back in time and had like
La
best?
la 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 la. I'd see AC/DC when they first
Well, that's
came
what I'm
out.
talking about.
Yeah,
But they're a lot
everybody has
better than
something.
the Who, so.
Well, you don't
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
that.
I'm not a big Who fan.
I'm a
I-
huge. I love the Who.
I like the Who, and
The
I
Who-
would.
the
I
Who
would
were the
go
first
see
band to
fucking
start
Rush
with power
too.
chords. Wait, what are you talking about? Rush sucks.
Uh-oh.
No,
Get
I
back
said
there.
I would go
Uh-oh.
see Rush.
I'd see Rush. I mean, I'd see anybody.
Dude,
I would definitely want
Rush
to see
wouldn't be on my
Floyd.
short list.
I would see Floyd, definitely.
Floyd, yes.
Oh, I got
would be-
another one.
Number one's Beatles. Is there anyone here that wouldn't go see the Beatles?
Not
Just
me.
Yeah, I'm not a big Beatles fan. I like Ringo. That's about
Even
it.
afterwards, I mean, they still did Abbey Road after.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
it wasn't. She was a bitch, but she didn't. She didn't like.
I
kill
think
the
I
group
think I would have
that
to.
quickly.
I think number one concert on the top for the Beatles would have to be when Sgt. Pepper's came out.
That
that's
is my favorite album.
I like Dr.
Who-
Pepper.
that's you would say that.
It's delicious.
I mean,
23
I
flavors.
still have a vinyl at home of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and every so often I like to just fucking throw that on and listen to it, and it's just sounds so fucking great on vinyl. You don't get that feel with like
As
CDs
long
and
as we're
MP3s.
talking about
Vinyl.
vinyl, I mean, I would love to see Bowie do like every era,
Yeah.
and I'd love to see Prince do Purple Rain.
I don't know about Prince, but I gotta agree with you on Bowie.
Prince he's a hell of a performer.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, I'm not doubting that.
He's batshit insane, but he's still.
I would be best friends with Hitler. I would grow up with him. And then at the very end, before he starts his shit, I will turn my back, and then he will be like, "Why were you doing this?" And then I'm like, "You know why?" Bang! Fucking kill him.
Wait a minute.
To Mackie.
Did you? I was gonna say, did you just fucking pull a Brutus? You fucking asshole.
We went from Prince
Sure.
to Mac stopping the Second World War. Like, it's so different
You know
from everyone around. You got Mac.
I have to say that was probably the best. That was probably the best answer. Like we're all like, man,
Definitely the most generous.
I wanted to solve my personal question.
Yeah, we all had our
I
own
wanted to go on
selfish
his,
quests.
yeah.
I don't.
Mac was like, you know what? I'll revise mine.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't.
stopping
And
Hitler.
then I will.
Why don't you just shoot him as why don't you just like?
No, he's gonna win it
like,
with
like
kindness.
push his mom aside, like drown him in a bath.
Because
wouldn't
I would
that
be a
work?
baby killer.
Or how about this? How about
I'd be
this?
a baby
Kill him
killer.
with kindness.
Or
Kill him
Yeah.
with kindness.
or I don't
Or
know,
just,
teach
like,
him some art lessons or something.
But that would be great.
Like
That would
teach him
be
how to
great.
draw a fucking person, because that was his problem. He could draw these cityscapes. He couldn't draw a fucking person.
And give him what was
Yeah,
it?
Hitler, I'm still coming at your art because your art's bunk.
No,
Yo.
it would be more gratifying growing up with him because you know him. You probably were mad chill with him, and then
Didn't you also have
reading
syphilis?
back in history books, that would be an amazing story.
I'm gonna grab Rob Liefeld from the '90s and take him back to teach Hitler art. And I'm like, don't worry about feet, just draw smoke.
And give him some penicillin for that
Dude, like,
syphilis.
it's
Goddamn
really good.
genius.
His biceps are amazing.
Oh my god.
And then I would impersonate Hitler and start World War II.
Jesus Christ!
Can you imagine if you go into when you come back into the present? You're
I will
like,
be
man,
sitting
I
here.
fucking hate Hitler, and everyone's like, the famous artist of the 1930s,
No, and then you open a book.
Adolf Hitler. Man, I still love that little mustache.
No, then
I know he copied it from Charlie Chaplin, but it's still cool, man. Everyone wears that mustache.
Young blood.
no, you open up the history book.
Oh
and
man,
then you see a picture
I
of
love
me
his
there.
memoirs. My struggle about him becoming such a great artist after all those years.
Rev, say it in German. Say it in German. Mein Kampf.
feet. But I learned how to hide and smoke, hills, different levels.
Jesus. Jesus Christ.
I would also
So, keeping on the track of fucking science fiction.
stop famous people from committing suicide or doing drug overdoses,
Yeah.
like Chris Farley or Kurt Cobain. I would point the shotgun to what's her face.
Or even Hendrix, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I'm like, I just turn his head. Yeah, exactly.
Go find David Carradine and just like cut him down. Yeah, I didn't forget David Carradine.
We all forgot about David Carradine.
I did not. I was like just hanging there with his dick out.
Now, do you think we would still love Jimi Hendrix if he didn't die?
I think you make awesome music.
Now he revolutionized
awesome
music, but so did Eric Clapton at the same time. And a lot of people think that the reason Eric Clapton's not as high as Jimi Hendrix when it comes to like the pantheon of guitarists is the fact that we saw the downfall. We saw Lady in Red. This is about as
didn't.
close as I can get to
That's
it,
fine.
baby.
That's fine.
We all saw Lady in Red. We all saw.
Not me.
You've never heard the song Lady in Red.
Nope.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Something like
But
that.
didn't
Look,
Clapton also have
Beautiful
like a?
Tonight. you know?
Yeah, I've heard that. But
That's Clapton. That's late Clapton. That's
Do you know what?
80s Clapton. That's the.
You make a good point though. You make a good point
he
though.
died
'cause
young and
what-
he was cool. Jimi Hendrix is outstanding.
But you know what? That being said, would Nirvana be like at the pinnacle where it's at if Cobain hadn't died?
No, if you look at
it would have burned out.
Yeah.
Like Def Leppard says, it's better to burn out than fade away.
It wasn't that. That was actually the Who did it before
Yeah.
them, but yeah. Wish I'd.
As I've said earlier in the podcast, I'm not a big Who fan.
Blow at your ass.
Man.
I like Bob
Def
O'Reilly.
Leppard, man? What has 7 arms and sucks? The answer to that age-old question.
I would go back in time and save his arm.
Save his arm?
Yeah.
So they would have 8 arms and
Do you
suck?
know what?
Who cares?
Do you know what?
I'm not saying they're the best band ever.
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
I would hope
How about-
not, because
how-
you'd be wrong.
How about stopping
It's your
Lennon?
opinion, and it's still wrong.
Stopping Lennon from getting shot.
Oh, yeah. Just punch that guy straight in the nuts, man. I would do that.
Do a Van Damme, do a squat, and just punch him right in the
right in the
nuts.
taint. Right,
Blood
everybody,
sport.
blood
Kuma
sport.
Tank, Kuma Tank.
Split, slow motion and all.
And then I would have the scene where my ass is showing and pull him up real slow. Be like, yeah.
That just happened.
Oh my
And
god.
Lennon would write a song about it, like, he pulled his ass cheeks out.
That's your Lennon impersonation?
That's my Lennon impression. I'm not a big Lennon fan either.
Hey,
I like
What?
Ringo.
Whoa, fuck off.
I like Ringo.
Actually,
George Harrison.
Star might be the best post-Beatles album.
Really?
Of all the Beatles, every one of them had okay albums afterwards. Paul McCartney, the worst. But Star by Ringo Starr is probably one of the best.
Not to be mixed with anyone else with the last name Star.
Ringo's the best Beatle, in my opinion, because he wrote Octopus's Garden, and he was the conductor on Thomas the Tank Engine.
I have to agree. There's some strong points right there.
They didn't get Lennon. I don't care that he was dead. They
Wait,
used,
the conductor? Mr.
Yeah.
Conductor?
Yeah, but-
after George
Oh,
Carlin,
yeah, you're right.
he was like, "Hey, everybody, let's go to the magical town." He'd blow like his train whistle.
Oh my
Shit would happen.
Do you know what would have been really cool though, looking back in like that period when like Hendrix died, Lennon died, if they had actually put together like a super band, like just getting them together and just doing like a one shot, like Lennon on vocals, Hendrix on guitar, and like anyone else on bass and drums. I would have fucking died to see that. I know
a lot of that happened though.
Who's
But
your favorite super band?
But I mean, Clapton played the guitar for a bunch of Beatles songs.
Yeah, and he well, what was it?
But I mean, they didn't
him and
like
Lennon.
cherry pick. They were like, well, we have John Bottom on drums. And
I think it was Clapton and Lennon got together with I forget who else.
My Guitar Gently Weeps is that song.
Year Blues or something like that. It was I think the mix up was called Dirty Mac or something like that. I can't remember, but it was definitely a very interesting song that they did. It was very bluesy. I remember that. It was really good though.
Rev, you were talking about supergroups?
Yeah, what's your favorite supergroup?
Ooh,
Cream.
Traveling Wilburys with Orbison.
Cream has Greg Allman and Eric Clapton. Two best
Eric-
guitarists of all time.
I don't want to
Eric
say the
Clapton's
same
a
one as you
racist.
because you said what would you say?
Eric Clapton, he was he tried to get all like the black people out of Great Britain. I remember.
What about you, Matt?
Traveling Wilburys has Tom Petty.
Blues Travelers.
Was that a supergroup? Mm-hmm. Who was in that?
Everybody.
You're so full of shit.
You just picked a group.
But I love Blues Travelers.
No, Blues Travelers are the shit.
No.
I gotta say a toss up. I mean, I like I said, I don't want to say the same band as you guys. Well, you two say.
Roy Orbison. Okay.
I would have to say a toss up. And it was in the early 2000s. Velvet Revolver and Audioslave.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Just those are like the only two bands that really come to mind off the top of my head that were like super groups where you had like other members of different bands.
Can the Aerosmith Run DMC Walk This Way count as a super group? Because that's pretty sweet.
But they only did that one song though. I wouldn't
doesn't
even
matter. It
I
was
wouldn't even
still
call that a
the
super
best.
group. I would just call that a
That could be
feature.
a whole album.
Or
just put it on.
It was pretty good.
And you drop beers.
Things are being
Whoops.
dropped now.
But that's a good
There's an
song though.
altercation.
It's a very good song.
Sub Pop.
Rev, what the fuck are you doing?
I just wanted to say that I'm not a big Nirvana fan, but I do love Morris Day and the Time.
Mars Day and time.
In the motherfucking time?
Mars Day and the motherfucking time.
Oh,
They
I
are
really
the
want to
best.
know you.
Well, you're only doing Jungle Love.
Jungle Love.
Because that's the only song you know.
Yeah.
The
There's a reason behind
cool, get it up, the stick, work the stick in my ride. All right. So for all my black listeners out there,
He
Mars
just
Day.
got really
that. We
sassy.
just lost all of our black listeners.
Oh my God.
Because they were like, man, we don't listen to fucking time.
Well, they don't listen to Nirvana either.
Yeah, but they're definitely not going to listen to
We
fucking
definitely
Time.
had like
They
a.
may have heard of Nirvana. They were
We
like,
had a 20
Are
minute.
those guys that play backup for Prince?
We had it. No, they had their own band.
Yo, they
They
were
were the-
backups for Prince.
They were villains in 2 Prince movies.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my
They were the
God.
backup for Prince.
They're
They were
pretty
they were-
good.
they had the
They're their own thing.
Jungle Love. That's their only song outside of Prince.
You haven't listened to them.
It doesn't matter.
Their first album was written by Prince. Every other album was written by them.
It's like the Spiders from Mars went on to release other albums as well.
Oh, it's not
But
the
it doesn't
same.
matter. Yo, it's not the same. It is the same.
Listen to fucking Pandemonium.
Good
Or
to know.
don't. You don't
Or
have
don't.
to, listeners, because just listening to this is enough. So I know that Rev hates
Nirvana
Foo
and
Fighters.
everything
No, he
else.
doesn't hate Nirvana, but he hates Foo Fighters. You know what we all hate? Bronies.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, I disagree with you on this one.
What?
Me and Mac spent a wonderful evening, and we watched a Brony documentary.
Yeah, we did.
Sweet Jesus.
There were snacks and cuddling.
We watched it, and there was a chick with big tits, and
Dude, they were
That was
crazy.
probably the only
That was
size.
enough to make you rethink
I
this
mean-
whole thing? So if
This-
Hitler had tits,
no,
Form
there's,
again.
no. What I'm saying is, there's so much hate in the world. If someone likes the cartoon My Little Pony, it's not affecting me. It doesn't
Exactly.
bother me any. That's all I'm saying.
If there's any left.
They're,
you know?
they're human beings.
Yeah,
too.
do you? Do you is what I'm
Do
saying.
you, brah?
So what prompted you to watch a documentary on bronies?
Max said, "Do you want to watch a documentary on bronies?" There's a chick with huge tits, and I said, "Yeah, I'll watch it."
Exactly.
so wait, this wouldn't be the first time you've seen it, Mac.
Yeah. No, it'll be a second time.
So
I
you
watched
say-
it for the
so
first
you
time.
watched it once, you were like, man, that chick had such big tits.
Plus, it
Other
was kind
people
of funny.
need to watch it.
It was kind
Where's
of
the
funny.
hand lotion?
Nice job.
But it turned out to be all right because it's not. It's people. You know, some people who have like social anxiety or something. They find something in that cartoon that they relate to. And
So it's like any fan base. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
They're
just
different,
weird
yeah.
that they find a little girl show to do that. I had Power Rangers to tell me to be friends with people. They have little ponies, which is just weird.
But they're no different than anybody
Yeah,
else.
they're nerds like everybody else, but they just found a really weird,
It's not like it's a
girly
hate group.
little
Yeah.
girl thing to do it. And I'm like, that's just weird.
You know, you make a good point though. You know, that seems to be like a almost everyday thing with this generation of kids. They have so much social anxiety. They don't know how to deal with, you know, face-to-face conversation without having a fucking cell phone strapped to their hand to talk to somebody. It's like you're 2 fucking feet away from them. Do you really have to text them?
Yeah.
But they don't know how to, you know, converse with one another because their parents were part of that generation of like, hey, look, it's a cell phone. I have to text somebody. And then they just breed people that don't know how to be in those social environments and their surroundings.
We're the first generation with a cell phone. I don't think there's kids growing up.
That's
now
what I'm
who
talking
only
about.
had cell
Yeah, but
phones.
I didn't
But
have
like
a
my
cell phone.
sister only got a cell phone. She has kids that are teens, and she only got a cell phone when she was much older. So I mean, yes, there is now a generation with a cell phone, but I don't think we can blame it on the fact that their parents had it. I just think that's just.
We're in a
I think it's just-
technology.
No, no, no.
yeah,
I'm not-
we're-
I'm not-
we're- yeah.
I don't
want
want to blame. I don't want to blame so much the parents on it. Don't get me wrong, but when your parents don't teach you, or at least encourage you to, you know, actually go up and engage in a conversation, or at least, you know, work on those social skills, or say, hey, go out and have fun with your friends, or go out and make friends. Like, I mean, I know I'm just showing my age here and everything, but it's like, hey, the kids, have a little play date with them. Like, what parents in these days do that type of shit? None. Because
No, I know lots of parents.
Granted,
Because I have buddies who are in their 40s, and they all have play dates with their kids.
but how well do they know the people they're doing that, though?
Well, yeah, it was mostly in the firehouse that I was with.
Exactly.
It was amongst them.
I think in today's society that you have a lot of families who don't, new families where people are like just getting kids and starting and settle down and everything. They're not real too geared to that because they've been brought into this, this mentality of like, you can't trust your own next door neighbor because God forbid they're a fucking pedophile or, a serial killer or anything else like that. Or you got to put a fucking nanny cam in your house because you don't trust the nanny. I don't know. I just think that, this society that we live in is just so geared towards, the only way you can really talk to somebody or trust somebody is through the protection or safety of a little screen on a telephone or computer for that matter. And even then, that's just as almost worse than a cell phone.
A cell phone is a computer at this point.
Yeah.
Outside of Rev, all of our cell phones are fucking computers.
Yes, that's right, America. I have a flip phone, and I enjoy it because I don't like going to Facebook.
That's because
and
when he
seeing
answers the
status.
phone, he's like, man, I need a way to hang up on it that actually makes an impact.
You
So you
all
can be like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah,
Click,
you'll
flip.
all agree with me. It looks cooler when you flip open a phone like, hello, than if you like
This isn't
slide
Star
it.
Trek. No,
if
no,
you
it's
slide
not
it.
any cooler anymore.
Captain Kirk at a communicator, he'd flip open and be like, Scotty, bring the ship around. Beam us up. You
I
guys,
don't have the power.
you guys will have to put your finger and slide to unlock. I don't have to slide to unlock. This is about bronies, man.
I remember my little brother on Easter. He had all his cousins with him, and they were all on the couches playing freaking Angry Bird, and none of them were talking to each other. And I was just sitting there like, these little kids they have iPads and
They
iPhones.
should be hitting
and,
each other.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
right now.
There's a disconnect.
And then when they were playing with all the toys that they found, there was this rocket that you had to hit against the ground, and the rocket would fly in the air. None of them knew how to use it. And I'm like, what's wrong with you kids? It's
So I kind of wish I grew up now because I'm a nerd.
yeah,
And granted, being a nerd was pretty awesome when I grew up. It wasn't too bad. We had a lot of nerd stuff.
yeah,
It's better than it's
It wasn't
ever been,
frowned upon.
But now it's getting even better.
yeah.
Like
No, it's too many nerds.
right now, it's cool to be a nerd.
Yeah,
But if you're not a cool nerd, God help you. Can you imagine right now growing up and being an uncool nerd? Like, man, nerds are cool and you still can't be cool, kid.
Yeah.
Better just cut it loose.
I still have my old Tetris.
Super
check it out.
from Nintendo, original Nintendo. Yeah,
For Game Boy.
I had it for Nintendo, original.
I had
I
it
have
for
it
Game
for my
Boy.
NES.
And as a child, I always thought when it went zzz, like when it filled up and you lost, I thought it was like, oh, I won. Because I couldn't read.
Man, you fucking sucked at that game. You're like, I win all the time.
I win all the
I'm the best.
Yeah,
at this
I was
fucking
like,
game.
just stack them up till you fill it up. Tetris chain.
Wow. Just wow.
Just slipped. I was standing on the thing.
Yeah. Jay's standing right now with his mic standing.
I've been standing
Almost
this whole
bust-
time. I'm
Yeah,
not-
but for the listeners who didn't
It's
see,
like we're doing
almost
a podcast with Seinfeld.
Who's Elaine?
What's the deal with these better cheddars? Are they really better?
Oh my
Yes.
that was a terrible fucking show, and I'm glad it's over.
Oh, whoa.
He's opened a whole can of
Dissension in
worms
the
over here.
ranks.
No,
Now
Terrible
we're gonna
show.
have to fight.
Were you a Friends? Were you a Friends?
He's a
I bet
Newman.
he
fan?
loves
No.
He's the
fucking
Newman.
Friends.
What was your show? What was your
Friends
show?
is
I
funny.
don't even know.
I like it. I like
going
it.
back, going all the way back to that time, I fucking just played video games. To be honest, I was a
Seinfeld was
gamer.
awesome.
I couldn't get into Seinfeld to save my life.
Did you like
I
Everybody
did
Loves
too, but you had
Raymond?
to watch some.
Oh.
Sometimes, but even then, when it first aired, no.
What
Oh.
was this?
Everybody Loves Raymond.
I liked that.
Oh my
ew.
God!
Ew.
I'm closing my ears to
No.
you.
Let me rephrase that. I'll make this a little bit clear. Now that there's reruns on TV, I'll probably watch it because there's nothing ever on TV between the times that it comes on until primetime TV comes on.
I watch it on Netflix.
Talk about how Everybody Loves Raymond. Every episode was the same.
Well, yeah.
Can
It
we
was
talk
just
about
him
that?
being yelled at by his abusive wife.
Yeah, and I lived.
Abusive wife.
Yeah, and his abusive mother.
Yeah.
It was every episode.
He
It
was
like
whipped.
it bothered me so much that the sets didn't change every episode. It was like they're in their house, they're in the mom's house, they're in their house again.
Wouldn't you?
whole
Yeah, when
episode
it's
was
when
in
it's
one room.
when it's in front of a live studio audience, you kind of have to. You can only have a limited.
Then
number
don't
of
make the
sets.
show. Then don't make the show because it's.
But wait a minute, wasn't Family Matters the same way?
That's different.
How?
Urkel had a fucking clone machine. Urkel was doing fucking science every episode.
That was
season
late
3.
in the show.
Don't care.
Remember when he
If-
shrunk Carl?
If Ray was like, "Oh, Deborah, I bought a cloning machine. I made a cool version of myself," I'd be like, "I'm into this fucking show." But every episode was like, "Ray, you didn't do this." Ah! And then the mama would go over like, "You didn't do this, Ray." And then Dad would be like, "Go make me a sandwich." Ray's mom, and it was like, this is both sexist and feminist.
I like the brother with the deep voice.
Oh.
It was the best part of it.
What's his name? Brad Garrett. Yeah. Weirdo Brad Garrett. Arrested Development, shout out everybody.
He would have to eat and like tap his chin
Yeah.
and put the food in his mouth. He was like compulsive like that.
Yeah, that show was awful. My mom loved it.
Yeah.
That show was the
That's like
rock
King of
bottom.
Me and
King
your
of
mom
Queens
would get
too.
along.
King of Queens is awesome.
King was funnier.
It had its moments too.
I wasn't a fan of King of Queens.
What?
Just get out.
I'm just gonna
Just
be
get
honest.
out.
The only time I watch that shit is when it
It's
comes
been
on
nice.
CW. That's
Everybody
it.
have fun with the RaptorKick.
See ya.
Jay's out.
See ya.
Jay's out.
We don't want
Actually,
your opinion.
Just kidding. I'm back.
actually,
You can watch Everybody Loves Raymond. You can watch like Deborah. Every episode's the same. You can watch King of Queens with a hot ass Leia Rimini.
Raymond would always get in trouble
Yeah, every episode.
every episode, and then the mom would make fun of her cooking somehow.
It seemed like they should get a divorce.
Yeah.
Like this is totally an unhappy couple. This is totally an unhappy couple.
She was always angry at him.
She was always like, Ray.
I just think between the hours of God, was it 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock? There was shit on TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you think about it growing up. Actually, you know what? No.
Yeah, the hour.
4:30 to
Simpsons.
5 o'clock. You know what? Do you know why I say 4:30 to 5 o'clock and then on to 8 o'clock?
Are we talking about the 90s right now? Because you had Xena and like Hercules,
Egg.
and Sinbad.
No. I'll do one better.
Oh,
I'll do one
yeah.
better.
Jack
Yeah.
of all trades, bringing it back every episode. I'm gonna talk
During the
about
week,
Jack of all
I
trades.
don't remember it coming on during the week. Maybe the weekends.
I remember Xena and Hercules
Yeah.
and Sinbad.
Yeah, and then
during the week.
when that left, you had Beastmaster,
Hey.
Blue's back.
No, she's on a vision quest. This is her astral projection.
Oh,
Anyway.
shit. She's a ghost.
One word.
What is happening with you, Blue?
Wait, we want to hear this one word.
One word to describe everything after about 3 o'clock until about 5 o'clock. Tsunami. It's plain and simple.
Oh yeah, Tsunami.
Or Sam Raimi.
Tsunami.
Yeah,
Well, if
yeah.
you change the channel, Tsunami.
But do you know what? Though? As soon as 2000 hit, they just stopped.
Yeah,
you couldn't catch that. But that's what took
No,
over.
you still had Beastmaster,
No, fuck Beastmaster.
Sheena.
Oh,
what?
remember Lost World?
Oh, with the girl from
Oh.
Wayne's World, the Asian girl from Wayne's World. was
Asia
on it.
Carrera.
No, that's Relic Hunter.
Oh, Relic Hunter.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
That still came on like
On
the
a side note,
weekend.
Tia
They were all.
Wow.
What?
Call me.
Anyway.
Call the
But no,
podcast.
like as soon as 2000 hit, like coming home from school and shit, it was all Tsunami. It was all fucking Tsunami.
I didn't have cable, so I have no idea what you're
Tsunami
talking
was
about.
amazing until 2001.
Why?
I would love watching
9/11.
Yeah, I would love watching Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing was my show, even though I didn't understand it as a kid. I love seeing the giant
granted.
robots. 9/11 happens. They take Gundam Wing off because it's a war cartoon. They took
Yeah.
it off. It's hurt. I love
Terrorists
giant
always
robots.
win.
Yeah, the terrorists won that day. Thanks,
But
Bush.
you know what? Two things that I remember growing up as a kid, like going in from like elementary school, going into middle school, waking up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and watching Dragon Ball Z,
Definitely.
and then fucking Sailor Moon coming on afterwards.
Definitely.
And Pokemon.
I actually had a very different experience because I had a weird upbringing.
He
I
was
used
watching
to-
porn in the mornings.
No, I would
With your
I would
dad.
watch the Honeymooners
Oh,
in the morning
God.
because that was on UPN. UPN would have the Honeymooners on at like what was it, 5, 6 in the morning?
Got me on that one.
It's a weird life to live when you're
So you go
Jay.
to school and the kids would be like, "Yo, man, did you see Goku this morning?" You like, "Man, did you see?"
Right to the moon, Alice.
Yeah.
Right to the moon.
Remember when Jack Gleason threatened his wife with violence? And he's like, "What?"
Now I'm really gonna
Get
show
outta
my,
here, weirdo.
I'm gonna show my age on this one, and I'm surprised I even remember half this shit.
He actually met Hitler.
First grade, I think it was about first grade or second grade.
Bobby's World?
No.
Oh, Bobby's World.
Way back before that, man.
Uh-oh.
Waking up in the morning before the bus came.
Reboot.
Power Rangers, the
Oh, yeah.
original first season.
I watched that after
Fucking
school.
Power Rangers. No, it came on early in the morning before school.
Oh.
Came on and then fucking Lamb Chops, and I'm like, as soon as Lamb Chops Lamb Chops came on, I'm like, okay, time to go to the
Someone
bus.
fart.
Like that was a key for me to remember to get up and go there.
Blue, did your astral projection fart in
What?
this realm?
It's fun of a racing quest.
Oh god.
Play waste with her butt.
Go.
Any-
on the RaptorKick podcast.
Anyway,
That was the universe's voice speaking.
I have a dog on her.
Oh, it
waking.
could have been the dog.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
dog here at all times.
It's either the astral projection or a dog.
It
Narrowed
might-
it down.
Like I said, waking up in the morning and catching Power Rangers before the bus ride to school, and then it always fucking stopping mid-season because they hadn't come out with the new episodes yet.
Yeah, resetting.
Just like fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
We're going to Namek. I'm Raditz. I'm your brother. Like, what the fuck? The fuck was that?
I thought he was farting again.
What the fuck was that?
It was the thing at the bottom that goes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I thought that was the dog's ass for a second. Like, yo, did he just shit himself? All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us here at RaptorKick. I am DJ Diddles.
Hey, it's Jay. Don't drink and drive unless you want to.
To quote Blieu, spread your love, not your legs.
See ya.
Good night.